throughout all of my childhood, I would always wonder, why wasn't I born confident? Why could other girls be so confident and show up in such a confident and self-assured way? And I kept wishing to suddenly become confident, and somehow nothing really worked. If you would ask me 5 years ago if I thought that I would ever have unshakable confidence, I would have very quickly and clearly said no. However, right now, I feel like I could fly if I wanted to. I've made so many friends over the past 2-3 years, even though I am an introverted person, but I've gained so much confidence and I'm able to just walk up to people and start conversations with them. I've done public speaking and I can show up with confidence every single day. And because I know that past Maria would love to know what I did to actually get here, here are the 11 slightly unhinged habits that made it possible. Also, if you're thinking, why is it so dark? Why do I have this middle-aged style candle thing? I love this thing so much. I look like I'm a Victorian child prepared to go to sleep. And it's because this is what the lighting outside looks like all day long. I haven't seen the sun in like 15 days, but of course I'm not gonna let that take away my confidence. First of all, you need to stop asking for opinions. And I feel like this can be really tricky in girl friendships, because I know that us girls, we love to ask each other like, oh, what are you wearing when we go out? Should I wear this? Should I wear that? We love to kind of just do what the other person is telling us to do because we don't really like making decisions. However, if you start deciding things for yourself and you can follow your own advice because you know that you're doing what's best for you, that's gonna improve your confidence. For instance, if you have to decide between 2 dresses when you're going out and you think, okay, should I wear this one, which might be a little bit overdressing, or should I wear the other one, which is like a safe choice? You could ask your friend, obviously you can, but if you decide for yourself, it's gonna make you way more confident. Oftentimes when we're asking someone for their opinion, all we actually want is validation. Make decisions for yourself. Just try it out for a week or a month and see how much better it gets. It doesn't only make you more confident, but it also helps you express yourself better. If you're asking other people what are they wearing out in order to then decide what you're gonna wear when you go out, it just leads to you kind of just wearing the same things as them, which means you're just following their lead. You need to take the lead for yourself. You need to decide for yourself, what would you genuinely enjoy wearing. This is just to exemplify. It's not only about what you're wearing and about clothes. It's also about making decisions, for instance, where to go to college, what type of degree to choose, how to decorate your apartment, if you should go to a concert or not, if you should do a trip or not. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe for more content like this, and also join my newsletter through the link down below in order to glow up even more. You need to completely detach from your past self. If you're trying to go from not being very confident to being confident, there's gonna be some sort of resistance. For me, it was like this. I used to not be confident, right? And then I started working on myself and doing a bunch of things that made me more confident. However, then I would feel sometimes almost weird, almost like imposter syndrome. And this was especially the case when I would go back to my hometown and I would meet people. And I would always think like, now I'm so outgoing, but actually I cannot be like this because I didn't used to be outgoing. I was feeling resistance because I was thinking that I still need to act like my past self. You need to let go of the idea that if you didn't used to be confident, you can never be confident. You always have to stay unconfident all of your life and you can never show up in a completely new way. That's not true. You can literally just start a new chapter. You can just say, from now on, I'm a confident person and I'm gonna show up as a confident person even if I didn't used to do that. That's fine. I'm a completely new version of me and I am not attached to the past version of me anymore. You need to allow yourself to be a completely new you. I hate to say this, but you need to do something difficult every single day. And the perfect example for this is what I did and what really helped me: working out. I used to work out oftentimes at 5 or 6 a.m. It was not nice. I can honestly say it was not fun. However, I'm so glad that I followed through with my gym routine. I had a lot of early mornings, a lot of moments where I was like, why am I doing this? And I did it anyway, because it taught me a lot about discipline, about consistency, and it made me more confident. By doing difficult things, you realize that you can rely on yourself, that you're a person that can be trusted, and that is important for your relationship to yourself. A lot of the things that are important to us in interpersonal relationships with, partners or friends or even family are also important for the relationship we have with ourselves. There are people who you can clearly see they don't respect themselves because they've never shown themselves that they're capable of doing difficult things. They've always chosen the easy way out. They've never kept a promise that they made to themselves. And you can also see that those people tend to not be very confident. They tend to overcompensate. They may become just people who are never happy for other people, who are always full of hate. You probably don't want to become that person. I mean, who would? You need to work on the relationship you have with yourself, and you do that by showing yourself that you can be trusted, that you're disciplined, and that you can do difficult things, and you're not even just gonna do them. You're absolutely gonna slay girly pop. There is no one like me. And I mean this in the most grounded and realistic way. I'm not saying, look at me, I'm the best, I'm the queen of the world revolves around me because I'm me. That's not true. But my own world revolves around me. I am unique, and there is no one else like me. You cannot find anyone who has been through the same things as I did, has learned the things that I did, has the character that I do, and looks the way that I do. It's impossible. That makes me unique. There's no one like you, and you need to embrace that. You need to genuinely just live like you are the main character in your own story, because you are. And I'm not saying to be selfish and to disregard other people, because now I feel like online there's this idea of hating on people who have main character syndrome, you know, like influencers who make fun of poor people, people who make fun of people who are doing like lower paying jobs. I hate that. I don't know why we need to call this main character syndrome, because for me, being the main character in my story means doing what I want to do with my life, because this is genuinely my life. Being happy, showing up confidently, not letting other people's opinion of me affect me, not taking criticism from people who are not where I want to be. It has nothing to do with bringing other people down. So I'm saying this, like, be your own main character. Know that there's only one person like you in the most grounded way possible. Do not become selfish. Do not become someone who thinks that the world revolves around them. But your own world, your own little world can revolve around you. And it should. Get ready every single day. I feel like this one is really straightforward. I know there are days where we don't feel like getting ready. That's also fine. What I really recommend to do in those days is at least, you know, brush your hair, maybe put a little bit of makeup on, or just some lip balm so you don't have chapped lips. Wash your face. Put on a clean set of sweatpants or something comfortable. I'll be the first one to admit, okay, sometimes I have days where I'm so stressed. Literally yesterday. Yesterday I was having a really bad day. I had cramps. I had a shit ton of work to do, and I realized in the evening that I still had my pajama pants on, and I was wondering the whole day why I felt so bad. Guess why? I didn't put in any effort to get ready because I was just doing work the whole day, but I could feel it, because on days where I get ready, even if I might only be working from home, I feel so much better. So from personal experience, I can tell you that taking as little as 10 minutes to just get ready, get out of your pajamas and put on something else is totally worth it. Embrace your natural features. I feel like this is getting harder and harder with the rise of plastic surgery and getting fillers and everything like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with getting fillers with plastic surgery. I think everyone should do whatever they want. However, I know that growing up, there are features that we can literally grow to hate. I used to be so obsessed with my nose. I always wanted to change my nose. I always thought I had a nose that's way too big. And like, I don't know where this came from. I think it came from the fact that someone that I knew had gotten a nose job, and I thought I also want one. Thank God I didn't, because I don't need a nose job. I don't even want a nose job. If someone would want to give me a nose job for free, I wouldn't want it. The way that I look, because it's unique, is important to me. I don't want to change a lot of things about it. I have really stopped looking in the mirror with the idea in my head that I need to change this and this, and I really recommend that you do the same. If you have very strong ideas about getting certain procedures because you want your lips to be bigger, your nose to be smaller, I don't know, you want fillers, just genuinely like stop for a second and think if you really want this, because everyone is unique, and I feel like in every person's face there's so much history. Okay, I feel like this is a bit woo-woo and nostalgic, but we look like a whole generation of people that had to like live their lives and do certain things in order for us to be here. And I just feel like on some level, why would you want to change your face that much? You know what I mean? Like, why would you want to not look like them anymore? That's kind of like my very nostalgic, very like maybe a little bit sad reason for not wanting a nose job anymore. You should try to embrace your features, to look in the mirror and affirm to yourself that you are beautiful the way that you are, that your features make you unique, and they're nice. However they are, they're nice. Put yourself out there in uncomfortable situations. I feel like especially if you tend to be more introverted, if you're a very reflective person, you need to do this. I'm the same way, and the best thing I've ever done for myself is to say yes to presenting at university when a group had to present, I would sometimes volunteer. Say yes to opportunities, to networking events where you might not know anyone, or parties where you might not know anyone. It's important for you to put yourself out there and to get through uncomfortable situations. Through this, you're gonna learn that you can handle any type of situation. Even if you feel social anxiety before going out somewhere, usually people tend to be really nice, and you can meet so many new people and have such good experiences and memories by putting yourself out there. You're gonna see that it's not as bad as it seems like in your mind. And if you're extroverted, well, I guess you don't need this part. What can I say? Good for you. You might not always realize it, but people read your body language, and it's one of the first things that people know about you without you even having to say anything. Even if you might feel uncomfortable in a situation, maybe you're surrounded by people you don't really know, do not sit there and stay like hunched like this in a little corner just trying to hide yourself away. Do not do that. Take up space. Sit there or stand there with your head held high, your shoulders back, and your back straight. You're gonna, first of all, seem way more approachable, and second of all, you're also gonna feel more approachable because allow yourself to take up space. Stop over-explaining, please. I'm begging you. Over-explaining is a sign of being insecure and feeling like you need to offer more and more information in order to get the other person to understand your point of view. A confident person doesn't really care if the other person understands their point of view. If someone, let's say, asks you to help them move, however, this is someone you don't know, they have a bunch of other friends, they're clearly just using you, say no. Honestly, just say no. You don't need to say no because my fish just died and my aunt needs this and I blah blah blah. Someone's trying to take advantage of you, you clearly say no. Zero need to over-explain yourself. Be more present, do some yoga, get a journal, get my journal, which is gonna help you transform your life in 3 months. Meditate, do some introspection, because getting to know yourself better through techniques like these, where you have to sit with your own thoughts and you have to assess yourself and your thoughts, and you're just like there listening to your breathing and to your body. These things help you to get to know yourself, to be more confident, to know exactly who you are. And again, it might sound woo-woo-y, but it is not. It does work. Because if you know yourself and you're confident sitting there with your thoughts and you are able to just meditate for 5 minutes without having the feeling that you're gonna cry soon, it's gonna make you more grounded, more at peace within yourself, and obviously more confident. And lastly, I feel like this is the most obvious one. I feel like social media is becoming worse and worse for our confidence, for our self-esteem. It can just be so hard to be online and to see people who are younger than you, who have achieved so much more than you, who have bought a house and 20 Birkins and your dream Porsche. It's so easy to compare yourself to people. It's gonna make you less confident if you do that. And with that being said, I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye! If you want the high maintenance beauty habits that I do in order to stay low maintenance, watch this video.